Hey everyone, welcome to the live stream tonight. We got an exciting live stream tonight because the forum is alive. We have a really good post in the forum. If you don't know, we put a forum on the website, vanbuilderhq.com. So if you go there, go to the top menu bar, click forum. There is a forum to discuss van build ideas. Now, if you want to access and ask questions on the forum, this is part of the new camper van conversion blueprint. So this is my new DIY camper van conversion course. So when you purchase the course, you get access to this private online community, which is the forum. Now you can look at what questions have been answered, just going to the website in general, but if you want to participate and be a part of the forum, all you gotta do is grab the camper van conversion blueprint, click down here, access for 50 bucks. And I'm gonna quickly go over what is in this course if you guys don't know. So this is a deep dive into how to build a DIY camper van. So I go over a couple key parts of building a camper van. One is just introducing you to the course. We start off with choosing your van, new or used, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, things to consider. We go over design and layout considerations, flooring install, and there's two install videos actually. So there's one that we did on the YouTube, and then I have a 6-part install series that we did on John and Susan's vans, a little bit more in depth. I upgraded kind of my processes and materials that I used, or techniques. And then we have installation and sound dampening. Next, we have off-grid power system design. So this is going over how to size your system properly, talking about concepts and stuff like that. And then also going over the products and how a power system is kind of made, like what all the parts do and how they function, so you kind of learn about that. Then we get fresh and gray water systems, and then we end it with exterior accessories. And by the way, the fresh and gray systems, gray water systems, we talk about plumbing too. So like PEX-A, plumbing fittings, undermount tanks. And then exterior accessories is the fun part where we go over roof racks, tire carriers, stuff like that. So if you guys are interested, you can pick it up, vanbuilderhq.com. And all you got to do is click on course up at the top, access, and click I want this over here. All right, so let's get into the main part of the live stream today. So we're going to be talking about a question that was posted to the forum. And it's a great question because it's exactly what I want to see kind of flowing in here. So the question is, there's a new van builder asking for some advice with more info to follow. And what they're talking about is they're getting ready to do a camper van build. So I'll just go ahead and read off what they have here. So the post is by TW Transit. Hey everybody, I'm a new member, still figuring out how to do certain things on this forum. Yeah, don't worry, I will throughout the week update you on how to post and stuff like that. And what I'm going to do with this video is reference it in this post with all the answers to it. So he's waiting on, or they're waiting on a new Ford Transit high top extended van to arrive. They have a preliminary layout of the interior that has been evolving for the past months, and they're going to upload a PDF to this form, which is really cool. I really encourage any type of photos or PDFs about van building on here to help everyone kind of get an idea of what you're building, and then at the same time give you some opinions on what direction you might want to go or some options. And that's pretty much what I'm going to do today. Is I'm going to use these two questions that he has. I'm going to reference some videos that I've made that I think will help answer the question. So yeah, a couple of features that are different from, okay. So the main two things I'm gonna go over in this video are they want to have a lift style bed mounted just behind the driver passenger area. Neither I or my wife are very tall, 5'6", 5'2", and I think we can make the bed so that we can both stand under it when it's raised. So I'll talk about bed options. Number 2, a shower pan will be installed on a slightly raised floor in the rear of the van with a gray water tank installed in the spare tire area. A curtain will hang from the ceiling to surround the shower area. We do not want a dedicated shower. And then at the bottom, as soon as I have the PDF of the layout ready, I'll upload it so you guys have a better idea of what I would like to do, and you can comment on things I would need to consider or warnings about what may be wrong with the layout and what problems I may encounter. So that's perfect. This is exactly what the forum's designed for, to answer those questions. And yeah, so to start off, besides downloading stuff, yeah, to start off, just heads up, I just got back from Overland Expo East. It was very nice. The weather was amazing. I just went for one day to film, kind of just to do a little tour of the vans. Got to see Glacier camping, van customers there, so they look like they're having a great time. And then also met with some builders. Roman from Vanbuilder Customs, I got to meet him and see his new adventure van build out, which is really cool. And so those two things will be in the video coming up here pretty shortly. But this is awesome. This is exactly what I want to talk about. So a lift style bed mounted just behind the passenger area. So the first thing that I think of when I think of a lift mounted bed is I've gone through so many different conversations about, in Thomas's van, which is the Marine 1 build that I did, we wanted to do a lift bed with either pneumatics or something like a standing desk type structure. And it got complicated in that van build because we really didn't have the space for it to operate. So I'm going to pull up the pad here, and we can actually kind of, I'll draw out what the challenge was. So anybody that's joining the chat, we've got a question or a post from a user on the forum, and they're doing a van build. We've got two questions we're going to ask tonight. One is talking about lift style mounted bed, and then a shower pan in the floor. So if I open up my little drawing notes here. And by the way, when we're on the stream tonight, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask those questions while we're drawing and talking about vans. So Thomas's van was a 148 Transit, and these guys are looking for a extended van, so a high top extended 4 Transit. So in Thomas's van, besides the wheel wells, and by the way, he had a wheelchair that he was using within the van, so we really focused on making a lot of room in order to maneuver through the van. So we wanted to do a bed that would raise and lower in the rear of the van, but once we installed the over-the-wheel well water tank, relocated the AC, which this question probably has nothing to do with it. We did the power system, and then we reinstalled his wheelchair lift. And I'll show you in red. So this was the area that we were trying to install this electrical bed. And let me see if I can pull up an example of one. I'm not saying this is not possible. I'm just saying talking about the reasons we didn't go with a lifting bed. So Lippert makes the Euroloft smart bed, and but you can purchase it through Wilderness Vans. And this is what the kit consists of. And the reason that we did not go with this bed for Thomas was we just, the van, we needed to make sure everything was very simple design, so there was no possible failure. So, you know, if he needed to get out of the bed in an emergency or, you know, lift the bed up, we were really relying on a motor to do that. And so what we decided to go with is a Murphy bed. But since I have this pulled up right now, I'll stay on this topic of the lift beds. Because I'm not for one or the other. Every van's different, and your application is going to be different as well. So, but what I think this is a great idea. But you need to make sure that you think of the bed as, in this case, as the first part of your design and layout. So I'm going to reference these little tabs in the course here. Not as a sales thing, just strictly to show you that if you want to learn more in depth, it's referenced in here. So for example, when I talk about having a system like this be the focal point of your build, is because these structural, I wish I got a photo that doesn't move. There we go. You have these structural bars and cross these members that allow the bed to lift up and down and support the weight, as well as the ones in the back. And that just needs to be taken into consideration before you get anything. Almost like you need to mock up the bed in there to make sure it's going to fit with your cabinets and walls. For example, if the forum, if TW Transit wanted to put this in their van, we see that this is designed to be mounted at the back with this cross member. So on a Ford Transit, this cross member is very structurally sound. I can't talk tonight. Because it is part of the van's chassis or unibody. So it's a very strong member. Extremely difficult to drill through, but the good news is it's a great support point. So that's why they have these seatbelt style supports mounted to the back of the van here. And in this, and this is just kind of my guidance opinions, but they want it just behind the driver passenger area. This tells me that these rails would be closer to almost right up against the driver and passenger. I'm excited to see what TW Transit has as far as the PDF that shows their layout, because maybe it'll give me a better idea. But I'm just kind of riffing on this right now just to give some examples of what they might be thinking of. And it's fun to do. So these rails would be at the front, but as you kind of see that if you were using this system, it starts to get kind of hairy. So my recommendation is you stick with how these beds are put into 99.9% of the van vehicles, and that is mounted like this in the back. Typically, that middle area between the driver and passenger is going to be for kitchen galley, additional seating, fridge, freezer, additional storage, that sort of thing. So you can see how this is working out. In this particular bed, now the seat belts do hold the weight. So if you wanted to kind of have almost like a bunk bed and have this closer to the top, that would work. But what I see most builders do is build these cabinets out in the back, which is typically water storage or an electrical system, and allow the bed to just rest on it. So it keeps the bed from swaying because it's obviously held up by seatbelt material, essentially. So it keeps it stationary, solid. It just makes it more comfortable to sleep. Unless you like a swinging bed, but that's for you. If you want to have like a little bunk bed up here. But the nice part about a bed like this is, or what's attractive to mostly to people who want this, is it goes all the way to the top. And you don't have to build an additional Murphy bed structure out to encase the frame and the mattress itself. So I wonder if I go to, I'm not sure if I have these pictures. So I'm going to my website to see if I got these pictures under projects. Okay, so this is Thomas's van, and I kind of emulated the way that these bamboo pieces are. So the DIY version that I did was I went to IKEA and I bought the IKEA slats, and then what I did with them is, somehow I just happen to have it right here beside me, but I took these slats and I cut off the netting on each side. And then I cut this to the length that I need, and that way when I put it in between the 80-20, you've got that flex, or like that spring-like functionality. But Thomas's bed system was it's straightforward. There's no motor to fail or anything like that. There's not even gas struts in here. What I used is these spring hinges. And if you go to the forum, you can actually go, and I answered a question on that. So if I go to are spring-loaded hinges effective for Murphy bed and a camper? So I answered that down here. Gave you a link to the video where I talk about it, and also gave you a part and model number if you guys want to find those springs that I used. So those, in this forum post, that's the exact springs that I used. So I used five of these heavy-duty fire door closers, and then I just maxed out the springs. And it doesn't keep it from slamming down. What it does is it just helps you guide it down with less weight. So that's what we did. And then up top we used an 80-20 lock, and then an 80-20 kind of like supporting pin over here. And that was designed so that it wouldn't rattle. It's like a backup. And what Thomas needed here where I'm standing is, there's another view of the bed. So another reason we couldn't put the structure, oh yeah, let me finish my thought. So this is for something called a paragolfer. So it's a motorized golf cart, or motorized wheelchair that's used for golfing. And it goes right here. So he was driving it in and out behind this with this big ramp, and that's why I need the Murphy bed. But you see the Murphy bed comes out about a foot. So in the case of this, that foot that comes out, when you raise the bed all the way up, you can use it like a counter space, and the bed's out of the way, so you don't lose that kind of countertop space functionality. And then here, this is with the bed down. But the reason we couldn't use those tracks for this is in the back. Do you see how it has to be wide with the track? And they have no upper storage. There's no upper storage on the driver, and there's no upper storage on the passenger. So Thomas's, we extended this storage on the passenger side over here so he could have storage, because once we make room for the wheelchair, the paragolfer, so you can move around, there's not that much room to actually, have storage in the van. So up here on the left, what we did is extend the storage here, and then over here where we couldn't do storage, we still extended out. So over here we have storage. But with that bed system that lifts up and down, there's the question is, where do you put it in a scenario like this where this is kind of your fixed dimensions? And then also we wanted this kitchen galley to be open. So we want to have a nice open flow fill through the cabin, so that if he wants to hop into bed, he can use the countertop to kind of pivot into bed. If he wants to get into the driver's seat from his wheelchair, he can pivot on the countertop. So this countertop height and depth is actually critical to his functionality in the van. So it looks nice, but it's actually functional by being open on these corners. And you can see here that when you lift the bed up, this has to kind of be boxed in back here with walls, so that it can support these guide members, I guess. And I'm sure there's some flexibility on things you don't have to do, but I can see here that this is a structural mounting point. This is structural, so those panels look like they're important. Yeah, so this is kind of interesting to me. I don't know if this is tied into the roof. It looks like it's just tied into the kitchen galley itself, although it's really nice laminated, probably Baltic birch, nice high ply to give it strength. So I don't know what their recommended mounting location it is, but on Thomas's van, his is a good example because we had 80/20. And not only did we bolt it to the floor and the walls, but we also tied it in at the ceiling level as well, to these the cross members. So we have it tied in here and then back here in the back, which you can't see. Okay, that's all the photos I got. So just, think about where, if you want to have something like this, where you're going to, how you're going to mount it. And what the manufacturer recommends when you do it. Okay, so there's an option. So again, you can reference the design and layout. We don't talk about this bed, but I actually may put this live stream in there as a supplement video, since we're kind of diving into layout with this. We go back here, lift style bed mount, driver passenger area. So next, there's another option, and that would be, I wonder if I have, all right, I'm going to look up something on my phone. Let me know if you guys have any questions while I'm looking this up. What I'm doing is I'm trying to see if my iPhone uploaded the video that I took this weekend. I can show you an example of this Murphy bed that might be some good advice for you. Okay, it doesn't look like I uploaded it, so maybe I'll have to do that really quick. See if we can just go online, type in Murphy style van bed. Next, we're going to get to the shower pan. All right, here we go. So different styles of Murphy bed. The one I wanted to show you was, it's not like a double collapsing one. So it's one like this, where the majority of the panel comes out on the driver's side with the mattress. And then you have a countertop that essentially runs the length of the van to help support it. I like this design because this design, it looks nice, but I think it's complicated with the bifold. And then these design that are half and half, I think you lose one side of storage and functionality as well as a countertop. So if you make it like this style, I like the bigger panel on one side. It seems to add more functionality to the passenger side of the van typically. And I think you guys can see that to this side. All right, next let's go into the second part of their question, which was a shower pan on a slightly raised floor. So what I'm gonna do is, let me hop into a video. And we're going to go to the video where I think I can grab it. Let's see if I can grab it here. Okay, so in this video, this is the Ultimate Camper Van Flooring Guide. It was one of our blog posts as well as a live stream video that I did. And right here, what we've done is we've raised the floor. So we've got 1 inch of foam insulation, and then we got 1/2 inch of plywood. And then so we've lifted the floor up, or raised it. And then this section right here is what we're going to use for the shower pan. So the shower pan that we're using in this particular video is it's the Tetra Van. So we're not using. So they do make a couple options. They have one that is this fold-out design. So the one that is fold-out, this one's all-in-one. You need to have it mounted in a location where there's enough room to fold out, obviously. But at the same time, there needs to be enough wall depth, as you can see here, so that it can house itself when it's closed up. So I do like this one. But if you want to be more minimal, you're going to go with this pan, and this pan is what I did in this van. Okay, so if we go to this part of the video, up this front part right here, this is the driver's side over here on the left and passenger on the right. And so this is the measured cutout for the shower pan. So this pan over here, this Tetra Van pan, this is actually going into this hole right here. And it fits perfectly with the ability to allow a 1/2 inch space, which we actually used 1 inch thinsulate material. 1 inch thinsulate material to cover this up. Let's see, where is that photo? I have to find that photo for you guys. But yeah, we used 3M thinsulate as a base. So at first I sound deadened it. And you can see here this little hole. This little hole was my center hole. And I found that, remember, wherever you place this shower pan, you have to think about the underside of the van. You have to think about the cross members, the drive shaft, how you're going to drain the water once everything's said and done. how's it going to flow into the tanks? How can you service it? How can you fix it if you hit something or mess something up? That is what you got to worry about. So that hole was, everything was kind of wrapped around that one hole. Not only that, but on the left side here, I had to make sure that the kitchen galley from Flatline Vanco fit without going over. And right here was my part where Ford Transit have these little bump outs for support on the chassis. They're really annoying because you either have to cut and grind away part of your cabinet to go over them so they're not in the way, or you just kind of deal with it and have them a little offset from the wall, which actually can be a bonus because the wall does curve in and that offset allows you to run wires and cables. So it's kind of a double-edged sword which way you handle it. But you get the left side, the driver's side over here and the passenger side. So this pan had to be dead center. Now, what the great part is it worked out perfect. So if you go back to, go to my website, Odyssey Custom Vans, click on Glacier, and let's go inside. Let's get to the floor. I don't know why I didn't put that photo in here. Let's see if I can find that photo. Give me 2 seconds here. So this was... I'm looking in here. Give me 1 second. It's a great time to ask questions if you guys got some questions while I'm snooping around here trying to find this photo that I did. Okay, it's not that. Oh yeah, hold on. I don't know why I'm not going to the tour event video. Here we go. Okay, give me 1 second. I'll be right here. Okay, now you can find out why the cabinets played a role into this video. So keep watching. Okay, so here is the Tetravan. Now I made it look more fancy because what I did is when I laid the floor down and I did my cutout, I very carefully cut out the lawn sill floor. So this lawn sill floor, if you can see, it's the same piece of floor that was cut out. I just really carefully glued it to the floor piece so it would look seamless. And so now you can see how close the kitchen galleys came to that edge. I like that it came close because it looks really tight. It's a really nice tight fit. And the cool thing, if you guys are wondering, this is an Adventure Wagon interior system. So these two Flatline Vanco kitchen galleys are actually physically bolted to the L-track that is riveted to the chassis of the van. So it's very super strong, which does allow it to be removed technically if you really need to get to something. So we'll just let this video finish up so you guys can see it just pops right back in. And what they're doing is they're using the sink as the shower input. Okay, so that is that. Let's see if there was anything else on the question here. Yeah, I see people coming and going in and out of the stream. If you have a question, feel free to ask it in the chat. Gives us something to talk about, kind of extend the live stream for the night. So shower pan, and when they're saying slightly raised floor, that's really cool because if you do the installation method that I described on the live stream, but also in the course, you're already going to have enough raise so that if you wanted to use this Tetravan floor pan, you could definitely do that. So none of these websites are sponsored. They just have really good information. So I'm trying to show you how this works. I thought they had one showing the side. Let's see here. There you go. So you see right here, we've got 1 inch over here on the left. We've got 1 inch, and it tapers to 1.31. So almost close to 1.5 inches. So what I did was I put 1 inch insulation. So I got the 1 inch right here consists of the 1/2 inch plywood and the 1 inch insulation. So from this arrow down is going to be 1.5 inches. So that as this tapers down, obviously that's the drain, but you can see how this is made for pretty much 1.5 inches thick floor. 1 inch of the polyiso or XPS foam, as well as 1/2 inch plywood. And so that is the Tetravan floor. And if you're curious, I did get it from Nomadic Supply Company. That's where I bought it. Let's see what else. So curtain hang from the ceiling. They don't want a dedicated shower area, and I like not having a dedicated shower area. You'll be surprised at when you get on the road and start to travel at how many facilities are either at truck stops or KOA campgrounds. KOA has some excellent showers. I'm always impressed by the cleanliness and just the availability of their showers. When I travel, I'll always do I'll just do almost like sometimes you can do a tent site for your campground. You can call in, I don't know if this is like a little hack, but you can call ahead if you're arriving late and just say, hey, I'm just coming in for the night. I don't need power hookup or anything like that. And they'll say, oh, you guys, you can just drop back into a tent site if you're just going to go ahead and leave in the morning. That's worked for me probably 2 or 3 times. So I don't know if I was lucky, but it tended to work pretty good. So yeah, looking forward to TW Transit's post, the PDF of the layout. I'd love to kind of use that as a little case study, and as well as people that now once again, if you've enrolled into the course, Campervan Conversion Blueprint, it's on sale right now. So if you purchase the course, you'll have access to participate in the forum, which is asking me questions through the forum, and I'll answer them. But if you're not purchasing the course, you'll be able to view the questions and answers. You just won't be able to participate in the asking of questions. So that's the benefit, one of the benefits of the course. The other benefit of the course is just a bunch of information in here. So I go through, I have a lecture. The lectures are something you can't find anywhere on the internet. It's not on the Vanbuilder HQ's YouTube or anything like that. These are one-off lectures that I go into deep dives of all of these different systems in the van. One of the bonus videos that you guys have not seen is inspecting a used van before buying. So John and Susan were looking for a van, and they were thinking that, hey, you know, why don't we just get a used van that's halfway to what we want, and then we'll let Nick fully customize it the way we want, do our changes to it. And I told them, I said, hey, you know, sounds like a great idea. Let me look at the van, because I just want to see what we're getting into. I don't want you guys to buy a van that you're going to have for a long time and it have problems, you know, stuff like that. So this van has some issues, but if you want to figure out what it is and what to watch out for, this van is a exclusive video. I mean, this video is an exclusive video to the course. So yeah, check it out. But yeah, this is awesome. I'm looking forward to I cannot talk tonight. TW Transit's PDF with the layout, which will be really cool. We're looking forward to that. Speaking of campgrounds, let's talk about KOA really quick. I'm very happy with KOA campgrounds. Let's see. So if you go to KOA campgrounds, I'm gonna type in this place called Deadwood, South Dakota. I went to Sturgis motorcycle rally this year, and there's two KOAs that I'm going to show you. So this is the one at Sturgis. Trying to see if they have any better photos. Yeah. So like, look at this. Look at that view. The view is incredible there. So Deadwood, South Dakota, it's next to Mount Rushmore for sightseeing, but they have a beautiful campground. You know, this is where you back in for the night. You wake up in the morning. There's this amazing mountain behind you. They've got all kinds of different tent spots. You go downtown to Deadwood. It's like an old Western. It's just a really cool place to visit. But you can see these campsites are really nice. I was hoping they had a photo of the amenities. Like the showers, that's what I was trying to show you a photo of. Anyway, the showers at this location, they had, it was like a log cabin type shower stall. They had mosaic tile of like Mount Rushmore and like a bunch of other things. It's just really nice. I think I should have taken more photos of it. Anyway, the other one I wanted to show you was, maybe they have something on here. This is, so this is KOA Badlands, White River KOA. Yeah, I probably need to take more photos when I'm there. They're a little bit better than these photos. But you can see some of these cabins and amenities are just super nice. The campground was just really, really clean. Anyway, my point is, I used to never think about going to a KOA, and now, I mean, I pretty much only stay at KOAs when I'm traveling with my van on the road. They're easy to get into. I'm always a late arrival. I'll always arrive like really late, probably like 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock, something like that. Take a shower next morning, just hit the road. And they have a check-in to where all you got to do is just, you can check in online, go to the door after hours, pick up your envelope, find your spot on the map, drive there. You know, you don't have to meet anybody or talk to anybody. It's just a really nice and easy experience. All right, we got off topic a little bit because we need some questions in the chat. And I'm going to be on here for just a couple more minutes. But if we don't have any questions, I'm going to call it early for the live stream tonight. So you guys get about a minute or two to get some questions in. Really excited about the forum. I think that's going to be awesome. And yeah, so tonight did a little bit of answering of this question. And there's more questions in here. So I'll start taking the questions from the YouTube comments and putting them in here, which I've already got some. I need to catch up on a couple of these. But yeah, this is cool. This is excited that it's working. I like it. Also, we're setting up a shop on Vanbuilder HQ. So curious if you guys are looking for products for us to carry. Mainly this is going to be populated by products that are vetted by me to make sure that you guys are getting something that I would recommend, I would put in my own customer builds. Because I have accounts with a bunch of these manufacturers, and yeah, I'm already buying them, so might as well offer them to you guys, be able to communicate which ones I like, which ones are available. So yeah, we're going to be doing the RTX 2000. We'll probably do an EcoFlow system, Fiamma F45S awnings, possibly CRL windows, and those type of products, just like the core products that I think are really good for getting started on a van build. So yeah, if you're interested, put that in the chat, put it in the comments. I'm really excited to hear that. Don't forget about the camper van conversion course, on sale now. And then over here on the top right, if you're new to Vanbuilder HQ, we have a free DIY van build cheat sheet. So if you're looking to get started, you don't know what parts that I use in the shop, what I've done is taken the last 3 years of my Amazon purchases, put them into an Excel sheet, and organized it so that you guys can get a jump start on your van build. It has everything from electrical, fuses, solar panels, wiring, water pumps, bolts, nuts, and screws, a lot of the stuff that I use for 80/20 mountain brackets and stuff like that. It's all on that sheet. All you gotta do to get it is put your name and email address, hit download now, it'll be sent right to your inbox, and yep, it's free, and I think it'll really help you out. All right. Quiet on the questions tonight. So guys, thanks so much for checking out the live stream. That's going to do it for us tonight. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Give us a thumbs up. Share this video to anybody who is doing their DIY van build or simply just wants to have a place to ask questions from a professional van builder. Yeah, that's going to do it. Check out the course before you guys head out. And yeah, thanks so much for watching the live stream tonight. And we'll see you in the next one.